I'm still working on the interior of the car. Interior trim on this seems to be never ending. What I'm about to start on is the carpeting. There's a lot of that too. But there are a couple of areas up under the front there, particularly on either side, the scuttles. They need to be covered. I haven't decided whether they'll be covered with vinyl or carpet. I'm not sure yet. I'll look at how they're going to be attached to make that decision. First of all, I've got to make some patterns for them. I have no carpeting out of this vehicle, nothing to use as patterns. So, as I say, I'll start with these side sections. I'll make patterns, and I'll make a decision whether it's carpet or vinyl, and then I've got to make another decision as to how I attach it, whether I glue them on or screw them on. I'm not sure at this stage. Then I've got to look at how I'm going to carpet the floor, and now the floor also includes the bulkhead there, and over this cover. I've got to look at how I'm going to address that. That will be carpet, so I've got to look at how I'll once again attach the carpet. Now I actually want to be able to remove the carpet, so attaching it will be not with glue or screwing it. It'll be attached in a way that I can actually remove it. The other thing I'm looking at too is that under the carpet, over the floor sections, which are wood in the centre, I've got some heat and sound insulation to go over those. Not very thick, but it's enough to provide some protection. So I've got to look at covering that. Now that is actually glued onto the boards, so that's going to take a bit of measuring and cutting, because there are sections of the boards that need to come out. Particularly here, there's a battery sitting under there, so the battery lid needs to be able to be lifted up. So it's going to be a lot of fiddly work, a lot of cutting. So first of all, I need to clean up the mess off the floor. That would help. But this is going to take quite some time. It's as I say, I've got to look at putting the installation on the floor. Then I've got some underlay to go over that, and then carpet to go over that. So there's a lot of cutting and fitting to do. So anyway, I've got to start somewhere, so I might as well start on the two sides and then work from there. Now, I do actually have some photos of carpet, the way it's been done on different cars. I've got those off the net. Not so worried about the carpet in the rear or even in the centre of the car. It's around the front here, over this panel that goes over the gearbox. So some people have just stretched the carpet over the top, which looks a little bit untidy to me. Others have tried to fit carpet on the metal piece itself, and there are different ways people have tried that. Also, that there's a panel that lifts up, so some have actually put a cut in the carpet so you can lift the section up just in the corner there. I don't know whether I'll do that. If you are able to remove the carpet easy enough, it may look a little bit neater without a patch in the floor. So anyway, that's a fair way off at this stage. Now it's not easy to take photos or videos of what I'm doing in here, particularly up under the front. Now this is this side panel I was talking about. The metal behind it is not straight. It's actually got a piece where that's cut out that bows outwards. Now I assume that's a strengthening piece for the front bulkhead. So I can't actually put a flat panel straight across. So what I'm going to do is with the cutout piece, I've decided on vinyl. I'm going to glue vinyl to that, so that'll actually be behind the wooden panel, and then the wooden panel will be covered with vinyl. So I don't think it'll look out of place. It's very hard to see anyway. I mean, I can see it now because I'm basically lying on the floor with no seats. But with the seats in, you'd be lucky to even see it down in there. The idea of using the vinyl was that it's really just a continuation from the door card straight across, so vinyl certainly won't look out of place. Now, one thing I discovered when I was sort of shaping this timber is that there also needs to be a piece of piping, and the piping goes up at the join with the door there. Now that piping goes in behind that board, so I've actually got to now look at how I'm going to not so much make the piping, that'll be easy enough, but it's got to fit in around the dashboard. Now the lighting's not very good there, but the wooden dashboard curves in there. The piping actually has to come right up, and probably right up to the top of the timber on top of the door. So I've got to look at that, and if that's the case, it means I've actually got to pull the dash out and the timber out to get that piping in. Just something I didn't notice when I was putting things in around the dash area. So the card won't be so hard to do, but I think the piping is going to be a little bit of a fiddle to try and get it in up around the dashboard there. Now I'm trying to put this piping in place. It would have been easier without the dashboard. Things are great in hindsight, but so I've had to remove, or partly remove, the dashboard, and the piping actually has to go right along the side, I guess call it the A pillar, and it goes up into the woodwork there and matches up with the upholstery, the cloth upholstery there. Now, as I said, it would have been easier with everything like the dashboard not there, but I can manage to get it in. What I'm going to do, I think originally it might have been tacked with blue tacks, but I'm just going to glue it to the pillar, and then when the cover is put on, it will actually provide more support to hold it in place. So I'm hoping I can get it in. There's a few twists and turns, a few things in the way, like mounting brackets for the dashboard, but it'll be a bit fiddly, but I'm pretty sure I can get it in. So here goes. Well, the piping fitted in nicely, and with the outer panel screwed in place, it actually sits quite good against the door. So a little bit of fiddly work, but it's I was able to get it in, and now I need to just replicate that on the other side. Well, it would have been nice to say that the doing the other side was easier because I did the first side. The only problem is that the shape is different, so it's not a case of just copying the same template because it doesn't fit. I suppose on the upside is at least gave me something to start with, and then I had to make a lot of modification to get it to fit in. So this isn't quite the same shape. Hence it took a little bit longer to get down to something that would actually fit in the area that I've got to put it in. This is it. I've already drilled the mounting holes, so they're right. I know this will fit in now after much effort. The vinyl, not a problem. I've got a piece that I can go in there. So now it's just a case of gluing this on, and then having already made the piping that goes around here, I've got a length of that. I haven't glued that in place yet. I'll do that once I've done this piece. I'll glue that in first and then I'll screw this on. So hopefully that won't take too long. The gluing is not so much a problem, either the piping or this. Because the only difficulty with the piping is that the dashboard is still in the way. I've moved it, of course, to do the passenger side, but it's still more up into its original position on the driver's side because of all of the steering column and so on, so it sits up in place. I think I've got enough room though to move it around to get that piping in. Anyway, I'll do this and then I'll get back into the car and start installing it. It's nice to be able to sit in the rear seat. It's the only place I can sit and get a good picture of the front there. Both sides are now complete, which is good. Once I settle on the shape, wasn't that hard to get in, so that's good. Piping fits nicely against the dash, can't quite see it there, but same on there, so that's good. Now comes really one of the hardest pieces in the upholstery, and it shouldn't be, and that's the carpet on the floor and also on the front boards there. I think I mentioned the reason it's a bit difficult is that it actually has a few pieces that need to be lifted up. Now there's the hatch on the transmission there, which you need access to top up the flywheel. There's also a plate just in front of the light there. That's to grease the prop shaft, and then there's the battery cover, which is a fair piece that sits partly under the passenger seat and partly in front of it, so you need access to that as well. So that means you've got to lift the carpet, and I'm really, because I don't have any existing carpet to base it on, I've really got to start from scratch and work out how I might do it. Now I have a few photographs of cars that I've taken off the internet. They of course don't give the full coverage of the car without seats. All you can see is the pieces of carpet that are visible when the seats are in place. So that gives some guide, but I need to think carefully how I'm going to make at least the part in the front here detachable, and in addition to that, how I'm going to address the transmission cover. And I think I've also said before, photos I've seen, some have just draped the carpet over the top, which looks a bit untidy. Others have tried to put carpet onto that separately, which is a little bit neater, but it has its own problems. You can't, of course, glue carpet to the whole top of the cover because it's got the little hatch there. So I'll need to sit down and draw up some plans and work out how I'm going to make, as I say, particularly the front end, not so much the rear behind the front seats, although that needs to be removed. It's fairly straightforward, but this front section is going to take a little bit of planning to get it right. Now, sitting in the rear seat here, I know I can see quite a long way under the dash. Once again, with the front seats in, that won't be seen, so I've got to decide how much of the firewall I do cover with carpet. I may still cover that, but certainly the bit above the sloping footboards is likely just to be glued in position rather than detachable. So anyway, a lot of thought, a lot of design, and also there'll be a lot of design changes as I go along, trying to work out how this is going to be able to be put in a manner that it can be removed, and also in a way that it doesn't look sloppy. So a little bit of a challenge.